Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my review of Halo 5 Guardians. So, it's been about a week since this game came out, so I figured now is an appropriate time to review it. I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of the game, as any review would, and I'm going to do so in three different sort of areas. The first area is going to be the story and campaign and just the kind of general gameplay, I would say. The second part is going to be focusing more on Arena and Warzone. And the third part is just going to be really quick, and it's going to be focusing on rec packs and customization. That being said, I am going to start off with campaign, so here we go. Alright, to start off, I'm just going to go over the basic gameplay as well as the graphics. So, I'll get graphics out of the way right now. They are good. They're really, really good. The cutscenes were not done by Blur Studios like the Halo 2 Anniversary cutscenes were, so they're not as good as the ones in Halo 2 Anniversary, but they're still really well made and well done. I just love Blur Studios. And then the in-game graphics are, again, they're just amazing. There's never really been any graphical glitches that I've seen, so you know, that's always a plus. And as far as gameplay goes, this is... I know a lot of people have been saying this, but this is pretty much the best Halo's been in a long time. Like, don't get me wrong, I've always loved Halo's gameplay, but oh my god, this is just really next level stuff. I feel like this is really good for the Halo franchise, that it's kind of branching out into this type of gameplay. So that's just really, really nice. The weapons, you know, they all feel good, they all work well and everything. The Spartan abilities such as Ground Pound here. Ground Pound is more useful in campaign than in multiplayer, but you know, it's still good to use. Spartan Bash, same thing pretty much. It is a little bit more helpful in multiplayer than Ground Pound is, though. But just as far as the general gunplay is, it feels really good. I know I've been saying that a lot, but it's just playing this game for the first time. I was playing on Heroic, and it was really intense at a lot of points. As far as bad gameplay goes, I mean, I really don't know what to say. I mean, it's not like anything is broken, but it all works well for me. And another thing is, there's a pretty wide variety of enemies in this game, spanning from the Covenant and the Prometheans. As you can see here, there is a new type of Promethean, the Promethean Soldier, which is basically like not as hard to kill as a knight, but harder to kill than a crawler. It's kind of about where he's at in terms of difficulty, and there's plenty of them. Knights do make return as well, but they're far, far stronger. And as for Covenant, there's just kind of the basic Covenant. You know, elites, jackals, grunts, and hunters. There's nothing like skirmishers, brutes, or anything like that. But you know, the Covenant in this game are actually pretty smart, and they know how to deal with a lot of situations, which means you have to adapt a lot more than you might think you do.
We just help.
Alright, now up next is the AI and the characters. Now, let me get this out of the way. Probably the thing I hate the most in campaign is the AI. These guys are just... they don't know what they're doing. That's all I can say. They don't know what they're doing. I've had times where the AI just froze up, stopped moving. They hide behind cover more than I would like them to. And as you can kind of see here, they're not the best drivers, like, at all. I mean, granted, Cat was worse than Reach, but by this point, they should have really gotten the AI to work a lot better. So if you do play campaign, I would say play it with a group of 3 other friends, because that's when it's going to be the most fun. Other than that, though, the only other thing I really hated in gameplay-wise was the Warden fights. They're just... It was cool the first time. The second time I was kind of wondering why I have to do this again. And then from there, it just got ridiculous and was part of the reason that I would just stop playing the game at times. As far as the characters go, the only characters that are really any sort of good in this game are Chief, Locke, and Buck. Alright, Osiris, Tanaka, and Vale, you get small amounts of character info on them, but nothing much, and nothing to really make you care for them, I would say. And then, oh my god, Blue Team, in the months leading up to this game, people were telling me, oh, Blue Team is amazing, they're the best thing ever, and I told them, well, I never read any of the books, so I don't know them, so I'm hoping the game can tell me who they are, and game didn't tell me who they are at all. It's just, oh, they're really good friends with Master Chief, and that's all I knew the entire game. You know, in my script I actually kind of wrote down, everyone on Blue Team, other than Chief, seem like they only get about 3 lines each. And that's really what it feels like. Blue Team just doesn't talk much except for Chief, and granted, you only play as Blue Team in 3 missions. The rest you play as Osiris, but even then, I mean, Blue Team just has no personality in this game at all. It's just, they're kind of there for co-op purposes, is pretty much all I can say. And then, you know, a lot of people were saying, oh, Locke's gonna be horrible. Well, no, he's not. He's not the most developed character, but he is still an alright character. He's given a personality of just being, I don't know how to describe it, but he's just a no-nonsense character, kind of, at times. Other times, like in this mission later on, he is kind of that guy who sounds like he does want to help everyone, and he wants to make a good impression about it. And I liked him as a character. And then there's Chief, you know, being his normal self, well, a bit more emotional, and whatnot. And then the last thing I'm going to say, I hated Cortana's story arc, or character arc. It did not fit her at all. I'm not going to say anything more. You're going to have to play the game, you're going to have to find out. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Corporate security. Private security.
Now, as far as just the general story goes, I liked it. I felt the story was pretty well paced, and like I was mentioning in the last segment, even though the game does have you playing more as Osiris than Blue Team, I feel like that works because Blue Team, or more or less, you're trying to figure out what they're doing, and the few levels that you do play as them, you see what they're doing, and then you're playing as Osiris, and you're trying to just kind of figure out where they've gone from that point. And I really like that. I just found it to be nice pacing. But as far as the negative goes about the story, it's kind of short. It's about 6 to 8 hours. I beat it in about 7 to 8 hours on Heroic. I wasn't really paying attention, really, and when the ending came to me, it kind of snuck up on me. I was really confused. That's not to say that, you know, I had spent, you know, a few days, and I was on, like, the last 2 missions when I finished it. So, I think it's more or less I was surprised that it was ending right there when I was playing, rather than it being, you know, something like it was short. Because it is a short game, not as short as Halo 4. It's a little bit longer than that, but there's still plenty of it to do in it. And that is all I have for story. Again, I really like it. It's not the best Halo story, but then again, I mean, the original writer, Joseph Staten, is the reason that we got, you know, the amazing stories in the original Halos. And he's back at Microsoft, so hopefully he is gonna become part of 343 and write the story for Halo 6, but that's just a hope. Because he's a really talented guy, and he's what made, or part of what made the original game so memorable. Oh, and a little bonus thing, I wasn't planning to cover this. The soundtrack in this game is just amazing. I just really love the soundtrack of this game, and I feel like the composer, Kazuma Jinochi, did fantastic for Halo. Alright, and now on to Arena. Arena is the matchmaking of the game. Warzone's pretty much a different thing. But a few of these points for Arena kind of count for Warzone as well. Number one being that the game is on a dedicated server rather than a host system, so if the host would leave, you know, go into host migration, or the game would just end, that doesn't happen in this game because it's on dedicated servers. And another thing pertaining to the actual servers, they were working on day one. I mean, I went in, well, I technically played a little bit of Arena on day 2. I didn't, you know, I was too busy playing something else on the day this game came out, but yeah, they were working, and not every game has working servers when they first release Battlefield. This game did, however, which is really good. One of my favorite new game modes so far is Breakout. It's a really fun game, really more skill-based than just your standard team deathmatch or anything like that, because you only have one life, and there are two ways you can win. Either you can eliminate the enemy team, or you can grab a neutral flag and take it to the enemy team's base and win that way. So you're going to need to be communicating with your team, just so that way you kind of all know what you're doing, where you all are. You can call out enemies for each other, which is something that the voice for your Spartan does in this game anyways, which is actually pretty nice. A few cons though is Strongholds is my least favorite game mode. It's kind of like, again pertaining to Battlefield, it's kind of like Conquest from Battlefield. There's 3 points on the map, you have to capture them, you get points if you hold 2 or more, but you don't have much of an incentive to defend bases you have, since most people seem to just be running around the map trying to get kills or to capture new places. Even if you have, you know, 2 areas, people aren't gonna be staying and defending them. They're gonna be trying to go for the 3rd one, and it's just, it gets kind of, honestly, not fun. It's the only game mode so far that I've just not liked. As well as that, there's no Forge or Big Team Battle yet. They are coming in an update. Forge, I like just to, you know, mess around with weapons and vehicles. And Big Team Battle's always been my favorite playlist, because I like games with a lot of people in them. And there's no Infection, which is kind of odd, seeing as how Infection / Flood has always been a fan favorite. Maybe it'll come in an update. Maybe they're just saving it for, you know, a playlist or something. I don't know, but you know, it's just kind of odd to me. Other than that, you know, Arena's fun. I mean, it's really fun. Other than I just don't like strongholds. Every other game type is, you know, again, just fun. And the maps are all really well designed, and unlike previous games, or, you know, games like Halo Reach, the map designs look like they're in parts of the campaign, but they're not just taken from parts of the campaign, which is something I really like, which Reach didn't do. I didn't really mind it. Then again, I mean, these maps are just by far better than maps in like Halo Reach and Halo 4. So overall, Arena is really fun to play, especially if you get, you know, just a group of you and 3 other friends. Alright, here we go. On to the crowning jewel of this game, Warzone. Now this is by far the highlight of the game. I completely and utterly love Warzone. Big scale games. They can be fast-paced, or they can be kind of everyone's taking their time. Not like taking their time, but they're kind of, you know, planning out what they're doing. It's very challenging and competitive, and it's one of my new favorite things in Halo. I really hope this returns in subsequent games. And if you don't know, I'm just gonna go over a basic thing, like the basic rules about Warzone. There's 2 teams of Spartans. You have to control 3 points on the map to open up your enemy core. To open up the enemy core, then you go and destroy it. But there are other ways to win the game. I've actually only seen the enemy core get destroyed once. The other times it was varied. The only thing I don't know is if Spartan kills give your teams points. I'm not 100% sure. I think they just give you, 1 point. Even as good as this is kind of the thing I have the most negatives about, just because the overall, it's overall good, but there are things I just don't like about it. Such as, I feel like there's not enough AI in Warzone. As you saw there, some Covenant spawned in, and we just utterly annihilated them. Well, that's kind of what happens. And there's AI starting out at the bases here, which is, pretty cool. But I just felt like Warzone, when they were talking about it, I thought they meant more like there was constantly going to be AI on the map, both Promethean and Covenant, and they're going to be fighting both teams, and they're also going to be trying to take these places away from you. But no, they just spawn in occasionally, and that's really kind of about it. Which, I don't know, I still like the Warzone. I like how the AI are worked into the game. It's just, I just wish there were more. That's all, really. And the other thing that, and this isn't like, oh man, this sucks because it's not in there. This is just something that I kind of thought about after a while, and it sounded like a really cool idea to me. Which means it doesn't sound cool to anybody else. But it was, you can't call in Marines or ODSTs as Rex in Warzone. Now, when you capture a base, Marines will spawn there, and the enemy team can kill them, but if you wipe out the enemy team, more Marines will come spawn back in. But, I don't know, I just think it would kind of be cool, you could call in a squad of Marines to just go and attack the place, or you could call in a squad of ODSTs. Obviously you need more rec points for them. I just kind of feel that would help the big feel of Warzone, like big kind of battle feeling that you get. But, it's just something I think would be cool. I really like it already. Warzone Assault is a little bit different. It's more of the enemies spawn in a base, or the attackers, spawn outside of the base, the defenders spawn inside of the base. And it's basically this, defenders defend, attackers try to take over the base, and when they do, the defenders have to fall back to another area, and the attackers will try to take that place until, I think it's 3 of those have been taken. the Defender's Core is available to be attacked, and you know, after that, it's just take the core and you'll, or not take the core, but destroy the core, and you will win. I've heard a lot of people say it's unbalanced. Really not unbalanced. It's just that sometimes the other team's good, sometimes your team isn't good, sometimes just random factors are happening, and just sometimes, you know, maybe, yeah, you're just not doing good. And personally, I don't play this game, you know, to win or, you know, just to like win every match I get into. I just play it because it's fun. Now, last but certainly not least is customization and rec packs. When you go into customizing your Spartan, you can look at stuff like your service record, mission intel, commendations, and then customizing your Spartan, you know, armors in preset forms, which doesn't bother me. I always hate when people like mix and match, you know, really weird looking armor. Then there's, you know, changing up your helmet, visor, and your color scheme, which is only for a free-for-all. And you can, you know, change up your emblem, the colors, which you can have little preset versions, which I kind of find cool how it's set up like that. You can change your stance and your assassination style, believe it or not. Just kind of cool. And then there's stuff like weapon skins for your loadout, which, you know, are just there to look cool, and some of them do look really cool. Now, Rex, I really love. You unlock them naturally through stuff like leveling up, commendations, or you can buy them, except for that one, which is $25, and it gets you premium stuff. Like here, you know, you can buy it using real money or with points you earn in game, and you get just stuff. Some of it's permanent, like customization options, then some of it's actual requisitions that you call in during Warzone, not in Arena. I want to make that clear. Recs are strictly for Warzone. And you do get some cool stuff. Expect Needlers and Mongoose a lot though. As well as you might get some XP boosts, or you might get something that says, you know, Gambit, if you think you got the most AI kills in Warzone. You get a bonus at the end and stuff like that. And really, I just kind of love how the rec packs are set up, because it doesn't matter if you buy them or not. You have basically just as good a chance as anyone else, because if you get something, you know, like a sniper rifle, but you can't use it, then that's your fault, and that's why, you know, you don't have to buy them with real money. It's just, I spent, you know, $3 and got stuff that I suck with, so, you know, there goes $3 I'll never get back. It's not pay to win, which is amazing. Anyways, thank you for watching. This has been my Halo 5 Guardians review. I gave it a 8 out of 10, just overall. Anyways, thank you for watching.